Today, we're diving into the Democrat Party's latest circus act. Before it was sending out a demented old fool out on the high wire and pretending that none of us saw him fall. But now these people, these geniuses, have been caught with their pants down so many times, they're basically running a nudist colony at this point. Nobody believes a word they say anymore, and why would we? They've been gaslighting us harder than a reality TV producer trying to convince us The Bachelor is looking for true love. Let's start with Joe Biden, the human equivalent of a Roomba stuck in a corner, bumping into the walls, worrying away, while the Democrats ignore the mess and say that it's working perfectly. You anti-Roombaist. Back in 2019, some of us regular folks, with eyes, with a pulse, we noticed that Joe was acting like he was auditioning for a reboot of Weekend at Bernie's. He's slurring his words. He's forgetting where he was, staring into the void, like he was trying to telepathically communicate with his childhood dog. Great take, Joe. Can you do it again on the next one? This is an Oscar-worthy performance. But some of us said, hey, maybe the guy's got dementia or Parkinson's or, I don't know, a factory reset's gone wrong. Hell, he even forgot who he was freaking running against in 2020.
And the character of the country, in my view, is literally on the ballot. What kind of country we're going to be? 4 more years of George, is going to find ourselves in a position where if Trump gets elected.
And what did the Democrats do? They called us ageists, conspiracy theorists, hateful idiots. How dare you suggest our vibrant, spry leader is not sharper than attack, they screamed. Meanwhile, Joe's out there whispering to the wind, come on, man, where's my ice cream? Chocolate chip, please. Fast forward to 2024, pre-debate. Videos are circulating. Biden's shuffling like he's got cement shoes. Freezing mid-sentence like a Windows 95 desktop. Looking confused when someone asks him, what day is it? We're like, guys, something ain't right. And the Democrats, they hit us with cheap fakes. Cheap fakes!
And look, independent, mainstream fact checkers in the press and misinformation experts have been calling out cheap fakes. And at the end of the day, they're fakes. That's what they were, targeting the president.
Like we're all sitting in our mom's basement with iMovie splicing together Oscar-worthy deep fakes to frame Joey. They called us bad people, deplorables. Me? They personally called a Russian bot. How did they know? Trust us, they said. Joe's fine. He's doing push-ups in the Oval Office. He runs circles around us. No one can keep up.
Does the president have the stamina, physically and mentally, do you think, to continue on even after 2024?
Don, you're asking me this question. Oh my gosh, he's the president of the United States. I can't even keep up with him.
He's running the giant ship of America with his right arm while solving quantum physics on a napkin with his left.
The most difficult part about a meeting with President Biden is preparing for it, because he is sharp, intensely probing, and detail-oriented and focused.
Then the debate happens. Oh, sweet baby Jesus, the debate. It's like watching your grandpa try to order an Uber with a flip phone. Joe's mumbling. He's staring at the camera like it's a portal to Narnia, and the whole world's like, yup, that's the guy with the nuclear codes. I feel safe. And the Democrats, they want us to shut up and stop talking about their con job and drawing the attention to them. He's out of office. We are looking forward. And then Axios publishes the tapes of Biden being interviewed 2 years ago by the DOJ. And he's about as out of it as a coma patient. And that was back then. And Democrats scream in unison, "Shut up already, moving on, let's not dwell on the past." Yeah, because y'all got caught red-handed. You absolute muppets. You propped up a guy who couldn't lead a conga line, let alone a country of America. And you endangered the United States in a way that comparatively turns Benedict Arnold into a national hero. Treason? Check. Malpractice? Oh yes. A masterclass in bullshittery? 1,000,000%. And now they've got the gall to roll out this new plot twist. Joe Biden's got advanced prostate cancer. Advanced. Out of nowhere. The man who's been under the care of the best physicians on the planet, with a medical team that probably checks his vitals every time that he sneezes. And they're like, oops, sorry about that, missed that one. Our bad. Are you kidding me? This is the healthcare equivalent of leaving your supposedly awesome Formula One race car in a parking lot for 4 years, except for the odd days when you pull it around the track behind a bunch of horses, which is pretty much how the Democrats handled Biden events. And then telling us that suddenly, out of nowhere, there's a major engine problems, while the horses are pooping on the hood. Advanced? What, did they think that his prostate was just really enthusiastic during the last checkup? This, my friends, is a shield. A big, shiny distraction to make us shut up about the dementia, the lies, the cover-up that has been stinking up the nation since 2019. They're waving this cancer card around like it's a get-out-of-jail-free pass, hoping that we'll all feel bad and stop asking why they let a guy who can't find his own socks run the free world. Answer: because he wasn't the one who was running things. They conned us on that too. They want us to believe that this cancer wasn't caught earlier. The most scrutinized man on earth, and this just happened to slip through the cracks. You know what this is about? It's about electoral chances. They're trying to save the Democratic brand from being permanently tarnished and tattooed with, "We lied about Joe's brain," not to mention all the illegals. They're banking on our decency and our short attention spans and our willingness to let them slink away from accountability. In other words, the exact opposite of everything the blue team truly stands for. Are you buying what they are selling? If you are, I have a bunch of direct marketers and Brooklyn Bridge vendors to send your way. Side note, I earn a slight commission. So are we buying, people? Are you out there buying this? No, you are not, because the jig is up and the curtain is down and the Democrats are standing there like a bad improv troupe, begging us to applaud their absolutely horrific performance. So, here's to you, Democrats. You've turned lying into an Olympic sport, and suddenly you're wondering why nobody's applauding the medal ceremony. You're not even awarding participation trophies for once, because in this case, your evil is actually real. So keep spinning, keep deflecting, keep pretending that you're the adults captaining this massive ship. But we see you and we're laughing because the blue Titanic just ran into a giant iceberg. And unfortunately, for those poor souls looking for an escape, looking for a way off the ship, your credibility is so shot, they're not even going to buy their lifeboats from you. Because like all of your stories, that lifeboat is undoubtedly riddled with giant holes.